All right.
Alright, so today I'm going to be talking about my passion, which is rugby. So I started playing rugby my sophomore year. I was a big soccer guy. I played a whole different bunch of sports before I started playing. And I was pretty good at soccer, then I broke my leg doing that. And then as soon as I got cleared for that, I found my love of rugby. My friends got me into it. And it kind of it clicked for me very easily. So it's just a great sport. Next slide. So the first part I want to talk about in rugby that is a very, very big part of the game is respect. So in rugby, you automatically start to respect your own teammates. You are at practice with them every single day for hours training, and you just create a bond that in every sport you create a bond that you'll never forget. You also find a respect for the players against you. Often rugby is not compared, but people will say it's similar to war, where you are constantly battling on the field. You are hitting, you're running, you're doing all this stuff, exerting all this energy, and at the end of the day, it's just a game, and you can be able to shake the opposing man's hand and say, good stuff, like, I have respect for you. A big no-no is talking to the refs. So in other sports, like, people always be like, sir, they're like, what was that call? Trying to talk to him. It don't work like that in rugby. The only people that can talk to the refs are the captains for both teams. So you have two captains for each team, and those are the only guys that can talk to the refs on the field. If you do talk to them and you say, like, come on, ref, like, they can get a yellow card, or you can get a yellow card. When you get a yellow card, you're off for 10 minutes. So that can sacrifice a lot for your team. So you quickly learn to zip your lip. And then you learn a great respect for the game. In rugby, you have every concept of the game. You have quick transitions like in basketball. You got hitting like in football, except without all the padding. You got high speeds. You can kick, you can pass, you can do all this different stuff that you just learn to kind of, like, even if you were to watch it, you would say, wow, that does not look easy. And I know, like, after talking about, like, how hard this game is, like, you look at me and I'm like, oh, that kid's small. Well, there's also the mental side of it that's very demanding. You have to have a strong mind in order to play this game, to be able to play 2 45-minute halves, constantly getting hitting, passing, running, all that kind of good stuff. Next slide. So next thing I want to talk about is rugby versus football. Rugby is growing in America, and it's a very controversial topic now because you got this sport that is so big in other countries, and then we have our American football where it's just kind of like, it's so popular here, and that's like our rough sport. Well, first, I want to compare the contact in football and rugby. In football, you see a lot of big hits where they don't necessarily wrap. They go in with a shoulder. That can be a little more impactful than in rugby. In rugby, you must actually what's it called? Wrap. You must wrap the tackler, and you cannot hit them above the chest level. That's for protection, and so it's a safer way to tackle. Also, you have to take into consideration that in rugby, these guys you start running, and as soon as, like, this person's sitting, and then they're just going straight at him. In football, you're making cuts, you get blocks, and you're more slowing down constantly, and you also have way more gear in football. You only have a mouthpiece in rugby, so that's also something to take into consideration. Next, I want to talk about the speed of the game. In rugby, it's 2 45-minute halves. You do not stop running. And in football, a play normally lasts about maybe 20 seconds about. So once you do that play, you go back to the drawing board. Well, in rugby, you don't get the chance to do that. What you have to do is you have to problem solve throughout the game, and you have to be able to see different things and adjust to them as you're playing, as if you're playing basketball or soccer or something else. Which also goes into the time of play, amount of energy used in the game. You, like I said, you are constantly hitting, passing, running the ball, and in football, you have set positions where not everyone gets to do that. A lineman does not get to run the ball. They block every time, every single time, and that, for me, that would be very boring. But I don't have to worry about that. Next slide. Next, I want to talk about the two different kinds of games in rugby. So first, you have 15s. 15s, this is what the field kind of layout looks like. So this is the more well-known part of the game. You have your forwards. These are like the big guys. Like these guys, they're in the scrums, the lineouts, all that good stuff. They're normally the slower, harder hitting guys. The backs, which is where I play, these guys are the faster guys. They come up with certain plays in order to break the line, and they do a lot more of the problem solving but the forwards are more in the trenches. 15s, there's so it's like a soccer field, about the width of a soccer field. And so everyone's kind of in a straight line most of the time, so that takes up a lot of space. That's less space to run into gaps and to be able to kind of break that line, which is where sevens kind of differs from that. So it's the same size field in sevens, but there's only 7 people on the field. These are your forwards in the game. These are the backs. And so in sevens, these are really the fast guys, skilled guys. It's like sevens, in my opinion, is much harder than 15s because of the fast-paced game. You have to make more one-on-one tackles, which when they're running that fast, it's like you could get either trucked, you could get your ankles broken, like you never know. So it takes a lot of athletic ability to be able to play this.
Is there only 3 people in the scrum then?
Yes.
Sevens?
So I kind of touched on a little bit the difference in players. These guys are more of the bigger, kind of in the trenches. They're hard hitting. This is more open space, faster people. Pace touched on that. I kind of touched on the attacking, defending. Attacking here, less space, so you don't get to build up as much momentum or as much speed in order to break the line. Yeah, that's it. Next slide. So now I'm going to teach you all how to pass. This is my video. It's kind of rough, but. Ball. The first way to throw a rugby ball is called a knuckleball. You drop your hands like this and you flick it with your wrist. The next way to throw a rugby ball is to keep your hands in the middle of the ball so it's straight up. And you're going to want to rotate your hands to make it get the spin motion. Thank you for watching. Any volunteers?
Doug, let's go.
Come on, coach.
Let's go, Doug.
You over here, Doug?
Doug.
All right.
That's
This is your job.
Oh, it's actually not.
It is. Your job is sleep?
You just got voluntold.
So like I said in the video, the first pass is called a knuckle pass. This is normally used for shorter pop passes, so you're not throwing it as hard. So kind of grab it. You kind of always want to have your ball or your hands in the middle of the ball, but in here you're gonna drop it. You're gonna kind of flare your elbow, and you're just gonna flick it.
Oh, whoops. Is that right?
So drop your hands or flick it. So you're gonna. So when you're holding it, you got it right here, right? Or so you're gonna kind of torque this elbow, and you're just gonna flick it with your wrist.
Oh, like that.
In a
No,
way,
spin it.
you're gonna push more.
Oh, it's not.
There you go.
Yeah. Now in rugby, the ball can go both ways. And what I mean by that is, if we're attacking this way, I have to be able to pass with both hands. If we're going to the left, I have to be able to pass with my right hand. So you have to be able to use both hands. So that's my right hand. That's your right hand. Are you right-handed dominantly?
Yeah.
So try your left hand now.
Alright.
This is more important for the spin pass. So when we teach beginners how to do it, you normally move your pushing hand. So I'm not left-handed, but if I was, because I'm passing left-handed to him, I'd drop my left hand back towards the bottom of the ball, and I'd move this one up closer, and I'd just basically be moving my hand across, so it's like it's coming at this motion, and this hand is more guiding it and being able to help grip it.
This is fun.
It's our right hand.
Alright.
See, it's harder for him because it's left hand.
Yeah.
That's something you got to do while moving at very high speeds and being able to, if this desk is coming at me, I have to be able to get this pass off and take a hit. So it's a cool game. I love it a lot, and that's my passion. Thank you.
Thank you.